All right, guys, we got our amazing client here. This is Tina, and Tina's been doing amazing inside the program. She has a busy lifestyle, but she still managed to make things work inside the program. She's down 24 pounds over the last few months, and I want to bring her on today, just kind of hear from her and see what's been working well, what she's been liking inside the program, and how she's been able to really achieve these results over the last few months. So, welcome in, Tina.
Hi, how's everybody doing?
Thank you. All right, so let's start with this, Tina. How did you first find me, and how did we first meet?
I came across your account through Instagram. I don't know if it was somebody that I was connected through that shared something that you posted, but I think I liked it and we kind of engaged through some messages and you just asked me some general questions that, I guess they were the right type of questions that pulled me in to engage with you. Because sometimes there are people who just ask you questions and they were kind of like, generic questions where they're like, oh, well, have you tried this? Have you tried this? And I think that we're very personable and you weren't trying to like gain a customer.
Hmm.
So I felt like you're trying to get to know my personal story. So it made me feel like more connected that you are trying to get me to where I wanted to be in my journey. So that's why I felt like this was the right choice for me to be in the program. So, but that's kind of how we connected was just by chance, I guess you can say, just by running across your account through social media.
Nice. All right. I'm glad to hear that you didn't have that feeling from me where I was trying to gain you as like a customer and like genuinely trying to actually help your situation. And I'm glad you felt that way, Tina, which is why we're here. Yeah. All right. So let's get into where you were with your health and fitness before we met.
So the last couple of years, it's been a struggle for me. I was, probably about 3 years ago, I was really into working out, watching what I eat, and just really taking care of myself. And then I kind of hit a brick wall just due to work and stress and everyday life. I have two kids that are active in school, so they kind of became a priority, and then work became a priority. I wasn't taking care of myself anymore. I just stopped going to the gym. Fast food just, became easy and convenient. So just based on schedule with the kids and, late nights and traveling, that just became the way of life for me. So I started gaining weight from not taking care of myself. I started not sleeping well. I got diagnosed with sleep apnea. So that was a big thing for me because I had people in my life worried about that. So I think that was a main turning point as well when that happened because I had, like, my daughter woke me up one day, like freaking out, saying, "Hey, mom, you're not breathing."
Oh no.
And I think that kind of like scared me into realizing, hey, this is a bigger deal. And, you go to the doctor and they're always like, well, if you lose weight, this might help. But when you have someone in your life kind of saying it, it's kind of a bigger deal. So,
I'm sorry to hear about that. I know the last years, as we were chatting about before, Tina has been very busy and challenging for you. There's a lot of stuff on your plate, and I'm sorry to hear about that incident, just with the breathing as well. In a way, it was kind of like a wake up call too, to really start focusing more on your health and fitness and start moving in the right direction and giving yourself energy, because I know that you do give to everybody else before yourself. So it's good that you're focusing on yourself now.
yes, for sure.
Yeah, so it's pretty incredible like how like you still are, like doing what you're doing. I know Texas had the crazy like, hurricane and everything going on the last month or so, but I'm really impressed because like you've been able, and I'm not saying weight loss is everything, but I mean, you're at the lowest weight in like years. I looked at your graph just earlier and it's like 2, 3 years, like you're at your lowest point. And like over the last 2 months, like you dropped 24 pounds, like from I think it was like end of May. So like June, July, August, like 2.5 months. I'm shocked and I'm really proud of you and I'm really happy that we're moving in the right direction. So I love to hear from you because I'm super excited, obviously, but like your results, not just like weight loss, but how you're feeling, maybe things with like your sleep improvement with sleep. Please do tell.
Well, thank you, and I appreciate that. And I've mentioned to you, I think a lot of it is just the accountability and then your positive reinforcement. Because I've mentioned to you that like I'm super hard on myself. So whenever I don't stick to a program 100%, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm failing, I'm failing. But when I talk to you, you're like, even though you're not sticking to it, you're getting the results. So you're doing something right. So just having that being told to me like makes me feel better. So it says, hey, you're doing it. You're still doing enough to get your goals done. So just making me realize that you don't have to be giving your 100%. People think you have to give it your all the time to get those results. You don't have to. And that sounds bad, but it's true. You're going to drain yourself if you're always giving yourself that 100% 24/7. So, giving yourself that wiggle room has given me, I think that's what has helped me the most because every time I've tried to go all in on other diets, I go all in and I'm like hardcore and then I burn out after a few months.
Yep.
So, the fact that I've been able to stick with this and I've had that flexibility, I think that's the reason I haven't given up.
Mm.
So I think that's why I've been able to stick to it and not given up, plus the, positive reinforcement and, the community. So that's helped a ton. So
That is super powerful. And actually, I want to relate to you because when I'm in programs, like I've done fitness programs before too, like the biggest changes are the internal changes and our perspective changes, right? And how our mindset shifts. I was actually shooting some videos yesterday on school, and I was talking about how 80% long term is much better than 100% short term. And you hit it right on, like nail on the head in the fitness space. We usually have this belief, and it's actually a fallacy, where we have to be 100% in order for us to be committed, right? If we're not going to be 100%, there's no point doing it at all. Or I'll just wait for a perfect scenario where the coast is clear. I could go 100%, work out 5 days a week, eat super clean. And that's
mhm,
actually a fallacy because being a coach for years and having these conversations with so many people, clients, not clients, right? I know this is actually what holds them back because the question is, Tina, how will it be? It will be inevitable that we will have cheat meals. It will be inevitable that there's seasons where, like even in Texas, where like there's a crazy hurricane and everything going on, which sets you back somewhat because you're not able to do what you can do. So like having this balance and having this perspective of what the real definition of commitment is the greatest paradigm shift. And I'm really glad you picked that up from me because if it was always like go, 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 go all the time playing offense, we're going to overwhelm ourselves. We're going to burn out and we're going to feel really disappointed at ourselves because we have this unrealistic expectation. So I'm really, really happy to hear you have this internal change from the program. That's the most powerful thing.
yeah, it's definitely a game changer for me because I mean, I've voiced to you that like I've been like a long time yo-yo dieter where I've tried everything under the sun and
Yeah.
I'll go hardcore for, months and then it's like I'm tired of it or I'll have a cheat meal and then that cheat meal goes on for, I'll do it once and then I just never go back to that diet. So, the fact that I can't eat what I want to, I'm not giving up my carbs, I'm not giving up chocolate. I'm not giving up all these things just to, lose weight. I think that's why it's so much easier to stick to it.
I'm really glad to hear. And that is actually the key to your success in this program. For you specifically, it's actually the mindset shift and the perspective shift. And the greatest thing, you're down in weight, right? You're getting very close towards your goal. So I'm really happy to hear, and I'm happy to hear about like the accountability, the community as well. Yeah. So um, for anybody that's struggling, let's just say any mothers or individuals that are extremely busy in their lives and maybe they're in a position where they feel like things are not going to work out, they feel really hopeless and kind of like your scenario, like they tried many things before. uh, what's your advice for them, like just like mindset advice or strategy advice, like what would you tell your old self essentially before doing the program?
I think it's basically that mind shift, like you kind of mentioned, where, we kind of fall into that trap of um you just see so many like commercials or you just see that fad diet or you just see that quick fix that's out there and we fall into it and we just it's just out there so whenever you're kind of not down on yourself. You just want that quick fix. And, that's not the best solution. So having that mind shift is the best thing for you. And I think for me, having that busy life and having to kind of accommodate other people around me, that has been the easiest thing because it has made me not only cook better for myself or eat better meals for myself, it's helped the people around me. So my kids are eating better. I'm not, eating out as much, or if I am eating out, I'm trying to make sure my kids are eating healthier. So um, that mindset shift is the biggest thing for the people who are struggling, in my opinion, just because we do get, like I say, in that trap of the quick fix.
Yep.
And so whenever you're surrounded by it, like I said, on TV, on social media, and you just see all these people around you, and also trying to not compare yourself to other people. I think that was another thing that was a big deal to me. I'd see somebody and I'd be like, oh, that's what I want to look like. And I'm like, well, realistically, I need to just see myself for who I am and just work on myself and, just be the best person I can be. So I think that's the key for me, was just trying to focus on myself and my family and kind of not get trapped into those kind of things with social media and um, the quick fixes of life. So,
Yep, and I'm really proud for you. And I was saying this yesterday in my videos too. I was saying that almost everybody I spoke with, has lost weight before, right? It's not their first time losing weight, but the struggle is being able to have a system and develop a system that's going to allow them to really keep the weight off. Most people have lost weight, but majority of people can't keep the weight off. So like actually learning this strategy on, flexible dieting, like what I'm teaching you and everybody else, but also like the mindset is the most important thing, actually, right? How we talk to
mhm,
ourselves, the internal dialogue. Because if it's negative and it's flawed, like what we're talking about today, where I have to be 100%, well, a vacation's going to come up at some point.
right.
Like, what happens then? I just had a conversation with like a few people over this week, Tina, and they're like, this is concurrent every single year because I go on a vacation around December and then I'll work really hard to lose the weight. December comes and I'll gain pretty much all the weight back and I lose my motivation. Then I'll get a spark of motive. And it's just like a hamster wheel. I'm like, something's got to change because the issue isn't that you can't lose weight,
Mhm.
right? It's like keeping the weight off. So I'm glad to hear that you have this internal change because that's the most valuable thing, actually. That's the
Yeah.
most valuable thing for you and all the other members on the team. So that's amazing. As we finish up here, any recommendations for individuals if they're curious about, if they're on the fence, if they hear about Meraki, they see my case studies, they see, like individuals like yourself, like doing really well, and they're kind of on the fence. What's your advice for them?
Um, I would recommend it. I was on the fence and talking to you during the consultation. It was, like I said, you're easy to talk to. You ask the right questions. You make it where you're not trying to just get a customer. You're actually concerned about me trying to be healthy. You're trying to make sure that, I want that change, that it's not just, hey, you're wanting to lose weight. You want me to change my mindset, like you said. So that is the biggest thing, because you can sit here and say, well, here's the food plan you need to be on, and here's your, exercise program. Like anybody can just throw that at you. But having these conversations and, like I said, the positive reinforcement and saying, hey, you're still doing good, even though, you may have had this meal, but you're still doing well. Like to me, that's a big thing. And I tell people all the time, like, that's what works for me. Like I need somebody to tell me I'm doing good, even though I've had, a little bit of, I wouldn't say failures along the way, but just little trip ups. So just knowing that I'm still doing well, and having successes along the way is a big deal. So just having, like I said, the community and having you as a coach and having you available is helpful, because just, I can, if I have a struggle, if I have a problem, I can just message you and say, hey, this is what happened. Is there something I can do? Or um, it's worth being in the program, and just the little changes that has happened with me has been a big victory in my opinion. So I didn't realize this mindset change has happened until I guess this conversation, to be honest. Just because it's like I'm just kind of going through everyday life and just thinking about what I'm eating or whatever. And it's just, I guess it's changed along the way and I just haven't realized it. So
I'm glad
yeah,
we had this conversation. And it's only been like barely one quarter, and you already made this many changes, like externally, like internally, and we're just getting started. So yeah, like stay the saddle, keep doing what you're doing. You're doing amazing, Tina. I'm very, very proud of you. Your kids are proud of you as well. Your loved ones are proud of you for what you're doing for
thank
yourself.
you.
Right. So yeah, as we finish up here, I want to thank you again, Tina. Thanks for coming in. This chat was really inspirational for a lot of people that will listen to this. So thank you again.
Thank you.
Yep. We'll see you later.
All
Bye,
right.
guys.
Bye.